to Different Style Whites, the podcast about different style fights.
Yes, it is.
And we got pretty different last week. I'd say we're getting even more different this week, but at least recognizable more as different style fights. But last week we were fully in the Aubie zone. This week we are in the Jom zone.
And it feels good to be Jom, let me tell you, man. Yeah, so last week, of course, we talked about Blood Runs Cold. As Aubie literally just said, that was so deep in the Aubie bag, and that was such a fun time. And now we're talking about kind of what we have left of different style fighting. What we currently have that is within that sphere. Because it's a genre that didn't really make it out of the 2000s, like early 2000s, because we talked about it a little bit at the end of the pod last week, but just because of what different style fighting is, of like wrestling versus martial arts, as martial arts became more popular and those like forms of entertainment kind of homogenized together in a couple ways, it just became not less interesting, but less needed for a kind of thing like that. Like people weren't as gunning for it.
Yeah, there's
But
a whole genre of thing called mixed martial arts.
Yeah. No, exactly. And but these matches kind of some more formally than others are some of the last matches that we have that really fit the bill for what you would consider at least close to conventional different style fighting. And these are also matches that for two of them especially I have a lot of feelings about. But we are talking about some really great stuff this time around.
I had some feelings from those too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, this oh man, I'm excited to talk about all of these.
Yes.
Really. Where are we beginning our journey?
I think we're gonna start out with the most recent one. We're gonna go over to Capture International,
Woo!
Koki Kitahara's Fight Club, I guess. It's closer to that than an actual wrestling company, or at least it was. Like nowadays, I'd say it's definitely just a hard ass shooty fed. But back in the day, it was kind of just a straight up Fight Club that was presented as wrestling, so they could get away with it. Um,
And when are
and
we pulling off the Kitahara footage heist?
dude,
We need to go Mission Impossible style.
so I heard from the grapevine, from photos that I saw online, and just hearsay that at the most recent capture show, because they came back like a month ago and did like a one match show. Um, like before they did that match, they said, "Hey, we're gonna do a little special presentation," and they just played like capture footage from the '90s on like a projector, like
Wow.
never before seen footage. It's like because Kitahara has all of it. I've like heard that from two different people now. That Kitahara has like all the shows, he has all the footage, and he's just sitting on it. And
Yeah,
like,
because tell the people there's barely any capture
yeah, so
online.
So, if you ignore the twit casting era, which is 2022 when they came back from the pandemic and they decided to actually broadcast shows for like the first time ever. If you ignore those shows, we have one full show that was we have three full shows that were broadcast on TV. We have one handheld show, and then we have like two handheld matches that were uploaded by Kitahara himself. And that is it. We got nothing else.
So you just blew my mind when you said they were broadcast on TV because I just assumed these were DVDs. What fucking were these like 3 a.m.
Yeah, okay,
on like
so the thing is that we actually have no idea what channel they were on. Like I've asked multiple people. I think we know the name of the channel, but we know nothing about it. I heard from someone at one point that it was even a South Korean channel and they were just broadcasting it in South Korea and not Japan. I don't know if that's true. That's just what I heard from someone. Um, but like, yeah, these weren't on like Samurai or anything. It was like a local station or a South Korean station, and we just happened to have them. that makes me think there were probably more that were
Yeah.
broadcast on TV. But we at least have those three, and they rule. And the handheld we have rules, and the matches we have rule. Um, and capture is kind of a white whale for a lot of people in like my sphere, and in, like both of our spheres actually, because it is such a crazy looking Fed. Um, we have like a bunch of highlights of the '90s from whenever we got the Samurai TV like news broadcast years ago. And those highlights look insane. It's like a minute of like 5 shows, and it is just the hardest shit you have ever seen. Koki Kitahara created the promotion just to beat people up. Just like that was why he made it. He's kind of like said that, and I've heard through the grapevine that that was not a joke and that people did not want to wrestle him because they knew he would just beat them up. Um, but
That's so
like,
awesome.
I mean, really, if you're Koki Kitahara and you got into all of this through street fighting, like that's his whole thing. Is that before he was a trainee of Sayama and doing all that shit. He was a karate guy who learned karate for the express purpose of starting fights on the street because he wanted to be good at like beating people up.
And I'm sure he didn't
Um,
get any moral instruction from Sayama when they were.
no, dude, Sayama was probably like, "That's a cool thing you're doing."
Great
You should.
idea.
Yeah. But of course, Capture existed for a long, long time. And starting after the pandemic, they started doing some broadcasts of their shows. They only ran 4 shows before closing down again, but we got all of them. And that was a very pivotal time for me personally, because that was when I was like deep into like the Japanese indie sleaze stuff. I was in like college and I had nothing better to do. We were just getting out of the pandemic, so a lot of my classes were still online, and it was like perfect timing for me to get like into like buying these shows and shit. Um and I have like vivid memory of watching like basically all of these shows in voice chats with friends. Um and the match that we're about to talk about was one of those shows that I watched. I know that for a fact because that was the match when all of us saw. We were like, "Well, damn, this fucking Fed rules." We were talking about Rikiya Fudo versus Rocky Kawamura 2 from May 8th, 2022. This is part of a tournament to decide the new Kepsha International champion because the old champion was Takuya Nomura, and when the pandemic hit, they just vacated the title. Um, and it's a really strong show overall. All of these shows are really cool, but this match specifically, like I wasn't even really conceptualizing different style fighting when this happened. It wasn't really a thought in my mind. This was 4 years ago. I was not. I'm a very different man in taste and in presentation now, but this was honestly kind of one of the first times I saw a match like this, and I was like, wow, this rules. And it rules because of its presentation, because Rocky Kawamura 2 is a boxer, and Rikiya Fudo is a guy that really wants to be Vader. And
Dude,
like,
that's like
what?
one of the first things that I wrote. Fudo is Vader here.
Yeah, dude, he
'Cause
is so
he
Vader.
when I saw him uh in 2022, uh 01 Legend, he
Yes.
my first thought was, okay, he built like one of the fat guys from Wally.
Yeah.
Like on the but then I was like, no, he's like a fighting game Negro Navarro.
Oh my god, yes.
But then as soon as the match started, I can't tell you how many times I wrote Vader in these,
Yeah.
which is not that is not a complaint. This is a thing of beauty. I loved it.
Yeah, no,
But he's
he's
doing all the Vader stuff.
dude, he's hitting the Vader hammers, he's hitting like the Vader like
Vader
jumping
punches.
splash.
Yeah.
Like, dude, it is, and the funny thing too is that he's been like this like his whole career. Even when he was like built well and not fat, he was still doing the hammers. But by 2022, he is a very Vaderly shape, I guess you could say. And I mean, this is like the perfect guy for a Fed like this, because imagine like Vader would have been perfect in a place like this.
Oh my
Like
god.
he would have been wonderful as a like mauler in an underground fight club, and Fudo is the closest we could ever get, and he is a perfectly fitting replacement for Vader. Um,
I do think that it's funny here, in just as an illustration of how wrestling has changed since the beginning of Capture. Like it is, this is like the underground snuff fed, but everybody has their mask on, right? Like,
yeah,
and it's like eerily quiet,
yes, that is
but not in the
that.
way that like takes you out of it. It's like it zones you in. Where you
Yeah,
watch the old Capture stuff and people are like kind of unhinged a little.
it is really jarring because especially with like the '90s stuff that we have, like anytime it's like a Nihao match, like they are like raucous, going nuts. It
And
is
it's
actually
so grimy.
one of the louder and more vocal crowds of that period of time, like in Japan. And then you get to this, and you're right. It's like very, very quiet. Everybody's got the mask on, but with a match like this, where like every time they hit each other, it makes audible connection. Like it's not bad. It actually works pretty well.
No,
Um,
they seem locked in. It's not like a a like a Joshi show or something where
yeah,
you
yeah,
hear people
yeah,
coughing and shit. Like, and yeah, the shots pop.
yeah. No, and they kind of go at it a little bit slow at first. Kind of zoning. Rocky Kawamura too is trying to play the game. Which okay, let me explain real quick, just for the name. Ryo Kawamura, Pancrase guy, loves Rocky, or really loves Sylvester Stallone. Um, so when he became a wrestler, he very quickly, like after a few years of just being Ryo Kawamura, he became a Rocky Kawamura, and he was doing the boxing and all that shit. And then I think he lost a match where it was like if he lost, he had to stop being Rocky Kawamura. So he loses, and then he comes back like a month later as Rambo Kawamura with the mullet and the military gear and everything. And he's Rambo for like a few months, and then he loses another match where if he loses, he can't be Rambo. So then he comes back again, and now he is Rocky Kawamura too.
Does he box as Rambo?
Yes, he's basically just Rocky still, but he's just like Rambo.
He's got the two on his trunks, like thing
Yeah.
one and thing two style.
Yeah.
So you know.
Yeah, and eventually it goes all the way to where he loses another match and just ends up becoming just the number two, and that's a whole different thing though. Here he is still full on boxer guy, and he's doing a great job of zoning Fudo for as long as he can. And Fudo is like he's like taking like some pops, like some shots, and Fudo's just mostly eating it. And then Fudo just hits like one Vader hammer, and Ricky like fucking Rocky Kalmar goes flying across the mat. I was about to say ring. It's not really a ring. It's more of more like a very thin layer of exercise mats surrounded by guardrails.
Yeah, he throws a huge Vader, yeah, club thing, and he is. You're right. He's eating punches that sound and look pretty close to full force
Yeah.
in the gut and the face.
The gut ones are actually like the face ones are really gross, but the gut ones, whenever Kalmora throws those, it really does look like he's just not holding back. And Fudo just eats it. He like fucking eats it for breakfast. He probably eats a lot for breakfast, but like he's like eating those like crazy. Um, and he like mostly just dominates Kalmor for the first few minutes, and it goes into a period that I didn't love, even though I think it was cool, where he like got a takedown on Kawamura and then just like smothered him for a minute. And
It was funny, but yeah,
yeah,
I watched this again today, and I definitely was like, okay, here's like the minute and a half of laying on him with his fat belly,
I don't know
with
if you've
like with a
ever,
headlock in between. So I
yeah,
just skipped ahead.
I don't know if you've ever seen it, but like the Emmanuel Yarbrough like MMA fights when
Yes.
he was doing that shit, like that was the Emmanuel Yarbrough tactic. Was he would take you to That's how he beat Tatsuo Nakano. Was he took him down and just smothered him with his titties until
I was like,
Nakano couldn't breathe.
what are you gonna do?
Well, I
It's a
really like
great strategy.
he's too fat. Like, what are you gonna do? But he gets that takeover, and he's doing some cool stuff. He's like grinding his elbow into Kawamura's face, and he gets that headlock where he's like pulling on him like he's trying to pop his head off. But eventually, Kawamura escapes, and Fudo just goes right back to throwing the Vader
Vader.
hammers, like
And he's going
knocking
boom,
his head
boom,
around.
boom
Dude,
while
he's
he does
making
it.
crazy noise. Yeah, he's going like boom with every hit. It's so good. And fucking Kawamura finally throws a couple punches, and Fudo is eating him and eating him and eating him, and Fudo throws a headbutt, and then Kawamura throws a back fist, and fucking Fudo like seizes up like a fucking dog that's been like scared by a loud noise, just all like full body goes stiff.
Like when Kawamura got the Ricky Morton sleeper on him.
Yes, yes. Fucking
Jumped on his back and then he just like flattened him with a Bam Bam Bigelow backdrop deal.
yes. Okay, dude, that was so awesome because he does just like it's really slick too. He gets like the full sleeper, and I love like watching him lock the gloves together. Like it's good. And then Fudo just like crushes him like literally with the Bam Bam through the like fucking thing. Oh my
He
god,
did
through the ramp.
the ring and the ramp.
Yeah.
They did
Oh,
both.
he did do both. That match is awesome. Um, and fucking crushes him. And Kawamura does get to throw some more punches. He throws like the hardest punches that he's thrown the entire match. He's popping him. He's popping him. And then Fudo hits him with like two Vader hammers and just crushes him with the gnarliest lariat of like the entire year.
Yeah,
Just
those that together is outrageous. How hard he hits him like in quick succession.
he hits him so hard, and like Kawamura's whole body is being knocked around, like he's like stumbling around, and I buy that he's actually like being physically forced around by those hits because Fudo is a big fucker, and he splashes him and puts in the Scorpion Deathlock, and it is such a tight one. Like, looks like he's gonna snap Kawamura's legs like a twig, and eventually Kawamura like I don't even remember if he taps or the ref just calls it. I think he like tells the ref, "Hey, stop the match."
Is this the first splash we've had? There's probably was one last week.
Yeah, you know what? I feel like
But those were
wow.
really different stuff.
Even last week, I think this might have been the first splash we've seen because that was like he does just like walk over and just jumping splash him, which like again, big big fucker. I buy that so real.
It looked like it sucked ass.
Yeah,
This was a thing of beauty. This is
yeah,
just like the distilled essence of a really fun, different style fight.
yeah. Like I loved this match. Chris Elord, I've mentioned him before on the pod. This was like one of his favorite matches of 2022. And I agree. This is a really, really enjoyable match. Uh, it feels like such a, especially when you're looking at everything else that was going on in 2022, like such a change of pace. And that's what like all the capture shows were. They felt so different than everything else going on that year. Um, but especially what these guys were doing, what Fudo was doing in capture, and what Kawamura was doing in capture, it was like you were not going to see this kind of stuff happening anywhere else. And there were only a few people in the world that could deliver on it, and these were the guys. So at the time, loved the match. Watching it again for the pod, I was very happy to see that really it has not fallen off at all since then. It is still a super enjoyable match.
It was a blast. And Kawamura, he's still like knocking around hard hitting stuff, isn't he?
No,
Is he not?
he
Oh,
retired
that's
last
right.
year. Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Dude,
Yeah.
which fucking crazy retirement match. If anyone has not seen that, the match against Sato, like it starts slow and then they start throwing bombs, and it is one of the most brutal matches of the entire year. Like I love Kawamura, loved him when he was a wrestler. Very sad that he retired, but great fucking worker, and it sucks because I feel like he should be talked about a little bit more. Just because there's a lot of shoot style freaks on like Twitter and shit, and like they talk about some of the guys going on around right now, like some of the praise that guys like fucking Abe have been getting needs to go to like Kawamura because
Give
he
them a
had
few
a
years and they'll catch
yeah
up, maybe.
they'll get around to it. It's gonna happen, but like he was so awesome.
See, it's
And
really interesting that this is like when you were the most locked in because I was not. I stopped
I
watching like at the
know
start of the pandemic and I missed all this. So this is like brand new to me and I loved it.
it's dude,
Super sick.
2022 was my year. I made like a blog post about the year, and I've done that for no other years before or since. Like I was so in the zone with that year and all the shit going on. Um so getting to go back to my old stomping ground was very pleasant, and I'm happy I got to see Kyle Morgan. I'm happy I got to see Fudo again because he's still around. He hasn't retired. He's just like in like Tochiki Pro hell. Like he just works that fed and that's it. And it's like a good gig for him. He's like a trainer or something. But yeah, no, I like haven't seen a match of his since like probably 24. He was like on a Z whenever Z1 was still like a company. I think I watched the Shuji Ishikawa match in 24, which was like
Okay, that sounds pretty
cool.
good. Yeah.
Yeah, that one was cool. But it was very nice to catch up with some old friends.
It was also nice to have this week because it was fun.
Yes.
I don't want to say these other two are not fun. They're fun in a different way. They activate a different part of your brain,
Yes.
I think.
So the next match we're going to talk about is from Kazushi Gumi, which I fucking, if you don't know what that Fed is, that's probably that's understandable because what the fuck is this Fed?
Can we get the
This
full name?
is
The full name of the Fed?
Oh, absolutely we can. This is super hard fighting group Kazushi Gumi.
Yeah.
This is Kazushi Miyamoto's company that he started after he did an exodus from All Japan for another company, and then that
Whoops.
company died within a year. So
Whoops.
he had to get something else going. And Kazushi Gumi is very weird because it starts out like here's Kazushi and friends having matches, and then it goes away for a little bit, and then it comes back as like a weird pseudo shoot style fed where Kazushi isn't even wrestling most of the time. He's just sitting at a table right next to the ring watching. Um, and this is from September 22nd of 2019. And the match is and fucking you're not gonna know. The people listening, you're not gonna know any of these people. If you do, you're a sick fuck
Yeah.
like me. Um, it is Max Yoshida and Mitsuyoshi Nakai against Isami and Tatsuhiko Nakagawa. So a little bit of context here, because I like read about this a while ago, and I was like, this is actually kind of cool. So Kazushi Gumi, very early on, had like a crop of karate guys. That was like Nakagawa, Isami, this dude named Iori, Mitsuru, who we'll talk about in a little bit, a few other guys, Matsuzaki, and they were just all doing karate stuff, and they were fighting the wrestlers, and it was cool. By 2019, they're pretty established in the company. They've been around for a few years. But now there is a whole new crop of like MMA guys coming in, which is like Yoshida and Nakai. And this little feud is born out of the karate guys going, hey man, you're like coming in and trying to steal our steez because we're like the different style guys. And you guys are trying to do that shit, and we don't appreciate it. And the MMA guys all want to be Kazunari Murakami. So like, it's a perfect storm of just fuckers that do not like each other. And Kazushi Gumi in general is a perfect storm of a Fed. And I don't know if you noticed as much, Aubie, but the crowd for this match is very rowdy.
Yes. Yeah, I caught a chant that we've heard before.
Yes. So I'm just gonna say what I feel like I can say based on publicly available knowledge. So Kazushi Gumi crowds typically were pretty drunk, and there are people who have said online that they would not go to Kazushi Gumi shows because generally there were a lot of people in attendance that they did not feel comfortable being around.
Ah,
It was a fed
yes.
with that appealed to a very certain demographic who really love to see this kind of fighting and
Uh,
were more than happy to get involved in it.
that makes a lot of sense.
Yes.
Now, looking back, the second watch through of this was very fruitful in terms of like,
Yes.
okay, uh, this is like maybe the most different style fight possible.
Yes, two incredibly different styles from wrestling who are going different against each other. And then the match goes in a different way that nobody would even expect. It's
And
it's like the most different.
and even so, Nakagawa is in the gi, but he has gloves on,
He does.
which
He's
I don't know
like
if I've seen that.
he he just really wants to like get away with any and all punches. And he does. He does at one point. But
Yes, I had seen the name Max Yoshida, and I knew Isami from his
yeah.
wonderful YouTube channel
Yes, who
with some insane matches of his.
yeah, I was gonna mention it a little bit later, but I will be very clear with the audience right now. There will be an entire episode on Isami eventually
Yes.
because he is like the last real karate fighter in wrestling. And we have as Aubie just said, he has a YouTube channel where he has posted some of his own matches from Kazushi Gumi and I think just from that Fed, he really did not work in a lot of places. Maybe Impact, which is Takahiro Tababa's Fed. He may have posted a match from that. Um, but he has mostly worked in like scummy, shooty Feds for his whole career. And he has posted some of his own matches, and he is such a fascinating figure because it's like if you took Aoyagi and you made him really fat and like a salary man, and
Yes.
it's he's such a treat. He's such a treat in this match because he like really gets going, especially later into the second half of it. But I mean, early on, these MMA guys are kind of being bitches, especially Mitsuyoshi Nakai, who is, you are really feeling that he's watched his Shinya Aoki tapes, he's watched his Murakami tapes, and he's here to be a dickhead.
He's even watched his Naito tapes.
Oh, dude, he's super watched his Naito tapes.
Yeah.
Um,
He is being a dick. I did think it was funny that that Isami and he do follow the code of honor.
they do.
Uh, but it doesn't last long.
No, it's like a very like I guess we'll handshake kind of
Yeah.
handshake, and that immediately goes into Nakai throwing some like heater punches, and then immediately hunting for leg bars, and like telling Isami, who's a karate guy, why don't you get on the mat with me, man? Why don't you come down here and grapple with me a little bit? Um, and it's early on, it's like they're throwing hard shots, but it's not like too crazy. But there is a very early turning point where Isami kind of relents and gets down and starts trying to get in a little bit of grappling, and Nakai like flips over him and gets onto like back mount, and you're like, okay, is he gonna go for like a choke or something? And no, Nakai just starts throwing like rabbit punches to the back of the head, like as hard as he can. And it's like, well, shit, okay. And that is when the crowd starts to wake up a little bit because they were already like chanting a little bit and getting into it, but that the punches you can start to hear some guys in the crowd start to like yell, like they're like, hey, you can't do that, you can't do that, buddy.
And it makes sense because Nakagawa comes in like almost immediately, and like the tenor is very different. It's not
Yes,
like he comes in and just like kind of goes nuts.
yeah, and that's whenever Max Yoshida comes in too, who is
Yeah.
a very like I don't know how to describe him. He's very bald. He's also very he looks like he wants to be like Minoru Tanaka almost gear wise. Like he has like the normal junior shooter guy gear, but he's also like way taller than he should be, and he's moving his body in weird ways, but he's throwing these like really nasty shots. And
Thank
he's
God he
also just
misses some of those.
yeah, some of those are really scary. He throws some really scary shots that like actually could have like I mean, maybe he was intending for them to, but he was
Yeah.
throwing some shit. I
He's
will
he's like
mention with
he taunts a little bit and is like leaning like right when they first come in, he taunts a little bit and Nakagawa goes for a punch and misses, but then he tries to turn it into like a straight like Homer Simpson choke with
yes,
the gloves on, but then he drops it really quickly. That's one of the things I noticed on the second time through. I was like, "Oh, okay."
yeah, and fucking Yoshida also, just generally speaking, not one for selling, especially right now. Like he's taking soul butts and elbows, and he's just like eating them and walking around like nothing happened. um,
He
and I will just mention
he
with
takes a leg
Yoshida
kick.
too. Oh
Sorry, he takes a leg kick that's like a millimeter under his balls
yes,
and like
dude.
barely reacts. I would be I don't know, man. That
Yeah,
was
no,
horrifying.
very horrifying. I was gonna mention with Yoshida the funny thing with him because he is actually just like a straight up MMA guy, as is Nakai. But he has a 1-5 record, 5 losses, most of them knockouts, and then he has one win that he won like last year after losing the all 5 of his first matches, and it was a knockout win in the second round, and it was over Hikaru Sato.
Damn.
uh, but here you would not think that he is a an MMA like jobber because he is being presented as actually kind of a killer, and he's like hitting some crazy shit, and eventually Nakagawa does get something going because he hits this fucking wheel kick, and Yoshida like very slowly like crumples inwards after getting the kick, and they kind of go outside, and it's like okay, they're gonna do a little bit of brawling, and then you see Nakagawa just pick up a chair and swing it at his head.
Yeah, and this is the point where he sort of goes feral.
Yes,
Uh, he amps it up his like first time in the ring a bit, but then like the second time he gets in here, he's like he goes to because he sort of does like it is like a normal different style fight thing where he kind of like kicks him out of the ring, like we saw Onita do that like a million times.
yes,
And
yes.
then yeah, it's just all of a sudden he decides to become like the different style fight Great Kabuki or something on the outside.
Yeah, no, that's a great way to put it. Like he is hitting him with chairs, he throws him into the ring posts. Yoshida comes up bleeding, and fucking Nakagawa rips the gi off, and you can also hear the crowd once again. They are yelling at Yoshida and like cursing at him and telling him to get back in the ring. Um, and I have to wonder because it's funny because they start doing the yelling and Yoshida like kind of speeds up the process of getting in, and I have to wonder if he just like was like, I don't want to play this game. I want to get back in there now.
Safer in the ring.
It actually was
Yeah.
safer in the ring.
And then he gets in and eats like 15 kicks.
15 kicks, some
Us-
takes some fucking he does some punches which are on mount and they're pretty sick, and then Nakagawa responds by punching him in the neck.
Rote punch. Yeah. I really loved before that too. I just wanted to note it because it made me laugh. Nakagawa hits like legit hits a Superman punch and then just falls down. Like
Yes, he
going
does.
through it. Maybe not the best like shoot move. That's when he gets mount and like punches his head in.
Yeah. Um and fucking Nakagawa gets that throw punch, and you see him, he's starting to take the belt off. And it's like, oh shit. And he wraps it around fucking Yoshida's throat, and he throws him over the top rope by Mr. Pogo, and the fucking the gi belt like comes off, and he very quickly puts it back on and just starts choking out Yoshida like
He makes it
hangman
worse,
style.
dude. He makes it
He
worse.
does.
If he had gone over like the standard, like I saw it in a Joshi trio, I mean a Lucha trio last night. Like that's a pretty standard thing. Instead, he puts his head like his neck against the second rope and wraps the
Yes.
belt around his neck and like has his foot in the back of his head. And it goes on
Yeah.
for a long time.
Yeah, he's just standing there choking him. The crowd is going like they're getting like nuts at this point. They're just yelling and screaming at Yoshida. That is when we get well actually no, right before that, Isami also jumps in by throwing like head kicks at Yoshida while he's wrapped up.
Yeah. I
Like
put down he was an accomplice here. Like the first time through, I was so transfixed by what was happening and trying to figure out why it was happening. I just kind of forgot the other two guys were there. But yeah, it makes sense the context you gave because he's definitely an accomplice to the attempted murder.
yes. And that is when we get the crowd chanting Korose, begging for Nakagawa to kill Max Yoshida, to have him dead in the ring.
And they actually mean
And
it.
they do. They really do. And the bell rings, and they're still killing him, and the other wrestlers run in and try to break it up. And Isami's like beating up the other wrestlers to make them not break it up. But eventually they do, and there's a little bit of a promo thing that goes on. But the main story is that the MMA guys have been executed by karate, and the fans are very happy, and they're like yelling at them to leave. And they do. They leave the match and they leave the company.
Good call again.
Yeah, this is the
Oh, you
final
want us to leave? No
match.
problem.
This is the
Never
this is
see us again.
straight up because this is the final match of both of their careers. Like Nakai is gone, which Nakai had been around for a while because he like was a he was an IGF guy, very short
Yeah,
period, like late stage IGF.
I saw
And
that
then
on
Yosh
his cage match. He had a little something here. I thought,
he
like
did,
the
he was really
tranquilo
good.
pose that turned into a tranquilo stance, where
Yes.
he's like guarding. From...
Yeah, and then Yoshida, who had only had like 8 matches and all in Kazushi Gumi that year, this is also his last match ever. Um, they seemingly take a cue, and I don't know if this was just what they were planning to do anyways, or if what happened with the crowd influenced it, but they're gone. So karate wins over MMA in the world of wrestling, as it should. Um,
It's
yeah,
a
this
shame
one
we
is
couldn't get this like in a bigger fed. You could do this anywhere now.
you could. This is like a like money like angle that you could run. Like fucking New Japan at one point was kind of playing around with the idea of like some different style ish type stuff. Like they had the Toru Yano like amateur grappling shit, and then they had I mean they had Wolf. They had Aaron Wolf come in. And he was doing the judo stuff, and I'm not really sure what
Sort
they're
of.
doing. Sort of, and I'm
That
not
was
really sure what they're even
disappointing, to be
doing now.
honest. Yeah.
Yeah, but like
I
I
think we
don't
talked
know,
about that
man.
on like the very first episode.
We did because he was about to debut.
Yeah.
Um, and now he's I mean, I can't say I've seen like all the stuff he's done, but he's he'll get there hopefully. It's just right now it's more of a I feel like
Oh,
it's
I
more of a
don't. Yeah,
company issue.
I don't think he's bad. I just wanted him.
No.
I wanted him in the gi. I want him to be a judo guy.
Yeah.
He has his whole career to transition out of that.
Yes. Um, but no, this rules. This match is awesome. Uh, there's some really cool stuff from both sides. The MMA guys are really cool. The karate guys, I love them. I've loved them for a while. Kazushi Gumi in general is a very cool fed, and this era is very interesting. And the crowd, as much as we talked about it as like dangerous, fuck it adds a lot because
Yeah, I don't
like
care. I'm not
yeah,
out there.
dude, it
That's
rules.
cool.
It's really cool.
I my last note on this was just insane and beautiful. 10 out of 10. What the fuck? Because it was
Yeah.
trending to be like a good different style fight. Anyway, like as
Yeah.
you said, they were doing cool stuff, and then it just it took quite a turn.
Yeah. No, I remember I think it was Eric R from Suguna Kaida who they were talking about the this tag from Wrestle Yume Factory, which actually we might even talk about eventually because it probably yeah, it was two karate guys against two wrestlers. We can talk about that eventually. So I won't even say it. But when he talked about the match, he was like it eventually like it was like a bar fight where someone pulled a gun. And that is what the whole ending of this match feels like entirely because they're fighting and fighting, and it's like within the realm of different style. And then Nakagawa gets that chair, and like the whole attitude shifts, and it all culminates in the execution attempt.
Yeah,
And
well, and he
it's
doesn't. The MMA guys don't even really get a chance to match the. It's
no,
basically just him killing Matt Yoshida.
yeah, exactly. It is crazy, like fucking nuts, and I love it. I love all these guys. Kazushi Miyamoto, please stop uploading vlogs to your YouTube channel and go back to posting matches. Because that's what he is now. He's not even like he's like retired. He's just a YouTube vlogger. Because he like is like I think his channel's pretty big now, and he actually just does that as a job, quote unquote. I don't really. I mean, I know he does like other stuff, but I don't know the details or how legit it is, but the YouTube thing is his front facing job at least.
So maybe
Um,
this stuff might be a little too seedy for him to be uploading
yeah,
and doing
yeah.
mainstream vlog stuff.
But yeah, if you hear me, Kazushi, please, you have a lot more of this. I know you do. Just please give it to me. Um, and speaking of things that we need more of, let's take a little trip to 2014 to a company called Taiheiyo Pro Wrestling, otherwise known as Pacific Pro. This was a company that ran from 2013 to 2015. It was run by Survival Tobita. It was his first company after kind of ending Saitama Pro, which that was the Tobita versus Monster company. Um, this is his first attempt at like a real company, and it is the place for our final match of the episode from November 30th of 2014. Keita versus 326, or well, his actual name, Keita versus Mitsuru. So, to start off here, because I think it's important to explain this to get into this match. Um, Taiheiyo Pro, Tobita's Fed, had this whole angle running through like the entire thing because this is 2014 and these were very precarious years for Keita. Battle Arts had just ended in 2011, and I mean he had even left Battle Arts before it closed. He left it like 6 months before the company shut down. But
Really?
yeah, so the Ishikawa match in like February, that's his going away match. And then like because from my understanding when Battle Arts closed, it was like they figured out they were going to close down like a few months before they did. They
Yeah.
actually like did not really know, or Ishikawa kind of always didn't really tell people how the business was going, which is kind of why it went the way it did originally. And that continued into the later years, although it wasn't as much of a big of a deal because like it was a completely different company, like business wise. But he leaves in that March match, and then he comes back for the last show. But he had already left. He was already, and like part of leaving Battle Arts was so he could do like his full like image change thing. Because
Yeah.
when he reappears on that final show, he is like already a completely different wrestler. Like
His division.
he's doing the Brody big boot and saying Huss and like stomping around the ring, and like he would only get crazier from there. So
I'll say.
yeah, and it kind of comes to a turning point in 2012 when he is a contracted DDT wrestler. He is in the company, and most people that know of Keita know of him because of what that leads to, which is of course the incident from July 1st, 2012,
The
on
incident, capital I incident.
the on the DDT versus Wallaby show where Keita is placed against Hiroshima, and it goes it goes really poorly. That whole show goes incredibly poorly. I've heard like five different stories on why it went poorly. If you ask most people, it was a disagreement between the DDT crew who felt they were better than this and the Wallaby crew who didn't like being looked down upon. And then the DDT crew were the ones that initiated what turned into like a whole show of shoot fights. Um, However, if you ask the right person, including someone who was involved in the show, they will tell you, and this is according to I'm not going to say who, but someone who is reputable in our sphere. I just don't know if he would want me saying that on a podcast that he told me. Um, but if you ask one person, they'll tell you that Keita's intention the entire time was for everyone to shoot on each other because he thought it'd be cool. Um, but that leads to Keita Yano getting fired from DDT. And that leads to this storyline because Survival Tobita has decided that with his new promotion, he is going to make Keita Yano the top star, and he is going to make the entire angle that Keita Yano is a liability who shoots on people, and all of his matches break down into real fights.
I'm sure it seemed like a great idea at the time.
Yeah, and
I'm glad he did it. I mean, thank you,
yeah,
Survival Theater. That was a
it's
sick concept. It
really
worked.
sick, really sick concept. I'm still not even sure how many of those were part of the angle and which ones weren't. He has a match against Itomo Ariyama, who is just this big fat dude in suspenders who may or may not be in the Yakuza. And that match is very infamous. And I partially think it might actually be a shoot, but I don't know. Who fucking knows? Um, this match against Mitsuru is part of that angle. Keita Yano is here. We are here in Cerberus Dojo, or as Keita would call it, Coliseum Cerberus, which is just a gym.
We're a long way from the Budokan Hall where we began
Dude,
our different
like,
style fight journey. But my reptile brain gets activated when I see this green mat and that chest press
yes,
machine back there. I'm like,
yes,
all right,
yeah,
starts to
no.
tingle.
We started with some shit in the Budokan with super no vacancy, and here we are in a dojo with super duper vacancy.
Super vacancy.
There are literally 4 people in attendance. There are 4 fans who have bought a ticket for this show. Um, the ring is the ring quotes. It's just exercise mats, but it's mostly surrounded by the other wrestlers who are on standby just to make sure that if shit hits the fan, they can jump in there. Keita, or let's
They did not do a great job of that,
no,
I'll say,
no,
outside of Tobita.
no. When they start having to later, they actually do like it's like a whole crowd of Mario Yamasaki's. It's incredible. Like, and Mitsuru's here. He's in his karate gear, the black gi. He's ready for a fight. And here's Keita Yano, who has jorts, kick pads, some purple knee pads and elbow pads that actually fit him, which is for him is nice to see. Usually he never wears any of those that fit. And I wanted to ask you, Aubie, do you recognize his face paint here?
It looked to me just like a bad job of trying to do Crow Sting or the Crow.
So that's not a bad guess, and I definitely saw at least one blog post from around the time where he linked an image of Sting in reference to the face paint that he was using. However, it is actually the face paint of Johnny Depp's rendition of Tonto from the Lone Ranger
Oh,
remake.
wow.
And that's
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 perfect.
like because I think around this time Yano was starting to make the post about how his mother is Native American and his father was a luchador, and this is a period of time where Keita Yano, as a work, is losing his mind, and as a shoot, is also kind of losing his mind. Like he's kind of just unraveling as the years go on. For a couple of different reasons, some that are more implied than others, but he just had a lot going on. And he kind of like going into like 2017 or 18, he's still doing like the crazy in ring stuff, but he kind of like gets it back together, and that leads to the Tenryu Project stuff, where now he's like crazy, but like in a controlled way, and he's like Tenryu's fucking golden child. I think the fact that he started getting booked in a major fed again made him like lock in and stop like fucking up his own stuff. But this is the period when
But
he
maybe
did
I
not
think
give a fuck.
leaving this gimmick behind probably
Yes,
probably helps
yes,
too, because now he's just like the catch wrestling guy who will uppercut
yeah.
the shit out of you.
Yeah, and he has his moments. Sometimes he'll get the face paint back on. He goes to work VKF and he puts the Joker paint on and shit. But like, uh, generally he does like he has mostly abandoned this Yano. Like this specific Yano does not exist anymore at all. Um, but I will say, as someone, I'm not. It's not a secret that I love this guy. And I this match was a very formative match of why I loved him. I've seen this match like a million times. I've talked about this match on like two other podcasts now that I think about it. Like this is a deeply important match for me that I will always hold near and dear because it's genuinely nothing I've ever seen before, even in the sphere of different style fighting, which I think is probably where it most belongs. It does not feel like it belongs there either in a way because it's just so it is an eerie ass match. Like from
It's
the complete silence to Yano being like a ghoul, it is fucked up.
fucked up is the perfect descriptor. It's like to me what it reminded me of because I don't know. I'm sure nobody outside of the participants know how much of this is like a work shoot or a work or what. But it reminds me of like a postmodern version of the Saishin Kaikan stuff
Yes,
on
okay,
that front, which is what
yeah.
Yano is really doing a lot of the time.
Yeah, no,
It's
he that's
postmodern wrestling.
he's all about doing like old New Japan stuff too, especially around this time. Like the fucking the Ariyama match. If you go to the YouTube upload he did of it, he like has in the description the date for when the Antonio Inoki versus Andre the Giant match happened because Ariyama's a big fat guy and it has like the same finish.
Incredible.
So we start off here. Unlike the tag match we just talked about before, there is no adherence to the code of honor, and it's actually Mitsuru who does not adhere to it because Yano kind of puts his hand out, but
I
I think
yeah, I said maybe that's what did it.
yeah,
Maybe that was his mistake. He should have shook his hand.
dude, all he wanted to do was shake his hand, but like he wouldn't do it.
And then he
So
wants to break his arm.
he wants to break his arm so bad, like. The entire first 5 minutes of this match is Mitsuru throwing punches and kicks at Yano, Yano either blocking them or no selling them, and then like lunging at Mitsuru's arms to put in Fujiwaras or just general arm bars and just dragging him to the ground. And every time he does it, he lands on like his shoulder at such a like bad angle. Like every time. Um and of course Mitsuru he's on the ground. He's kind of an old man. He's like got the bald spot on the top. He's got the fucking he's really like getting battered by age, and he's not getting up immediately. So Cadiano takes advantage every time he gets him down by punt kicking him.
Yeah, it's not even that he's not getting up immediately. They're like every time it's an immediate break because he
Yes,
doesn't give a shit if he's taking him down like outside of the prescribed area or whatever, or, the outside of the mat. It's
yeah.
every time it's like break, and yeah, he gives him a punt kick or a fucking stomp.
The stomps are so scary because he is actually just full force, like Kurisu, like stomping his head down.
Yeah, and that every time uh Mitsuru gives him like a "what the fuck, buddy" kind of look. Like,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
you got to catch on here soon, my man.
That's
He
that's
he
that's
goes a
all.
while before he realizes what's happening, I think.
That's like always what's kind of made me look at this match like I don't fully know what it is or isn't because just like I imagine this match was meant to go kind of like this, but the way Mitsuru like responds facial expression wise, it looks like he really did not know what he was getting into.
And Tobita too is looking very concerned from almost the beginning.
Dude, I mean, it's so funny because if you've seen like any of the other matches from the Fed that are on K's show, because he has a few uploaded, and like Every single one is him doing this to some guy, and Tobita looking on very concerned because once again, Keita is shooting on some guy in the main event of one of his shows.
You asked for it, buddy.
You did. It was really him. Shout out Tobita too, because if you go to the video of the Hiroshima Keita shoot on YouTube that I think Keita himself uploaded, there's like people in the comments that are talking shit about Keita, and you can like look at their replies, and a lot of them have replies from Tobita who is like calling them dumbasses.
Marks.
Dumb fucking marks. But I mean, Keita's trying to fucking Mark watch Mitsuru too, because he's yelling at him like, show me karate, over and over again. And Mitsuru is just not like landing substantial enough stuff. And Yano's not selling anything. And it's like a bit into the match after he's put on some like nasty holds. He puts on one heel hook that like actually looks like it's gonna break the dude's
I
leg.
I
Like,
could only assume that he was trying to break his leg for real. The way Mitsuru is like screaming
yeah.
is really horrifying.
Yeah, it's really, and like Keita's like almost like fully flipped over while still holding on to his leg. It's like really, really bad. Um, and fucking they're trying to get him to break it up. I did also write in my notes this whole heel hook is straight up scary because it's
Yeah.
really fucked. And Mitsuru finally seems to get a clue, and he throws like a couple elbows that are like actually like heaters, and that's Yano's cue. It's like, okay, I can actually, because that's Yano hasn't even turned up the heat for this match yet. That's just been him like just working on him. He
Yeah, that
takes his
this is
elbows
around
and
the first what I would call truly egregious kicks and punches.
yeah, because Yano just throws like a straight left hook to the jaw, like full on.
On a break again, and it sounds disgusting.
Yes. And Yano is just grabbing at limbs and yanking on him at bad angles and punching him in the jaw. And there's this one point where like they break up for like a second, and Yano rushes in and full force punt kicks him in the back of the head, and you can see Mitsuru like crumple up for a second, like just gut like just innate response of like I have to fetal position to protect myself because I'm actually getting like beat to death.
Yeah, that's when he's like really in deep waters. That's right around the time he has to like slap himself awake too.
Yes.
Because I don't know how much is selling, but he appears concussed for the end of this. And Keita is like coming forward, but he's coming forward like Michael Myers. He's moving
Yeah.
slowly with his
He's
hands down.
dude, he does not pull up guard like once after like the first he has guard up for like the first 5 minutes every now and then. He doesn't pull guard up again for the rest of the match. He's like decided he doesn't need it. um and I will say with the punt kicks too, one of the first like when I was doing research on this match like many years ago, I was trying to see like what did people in Japan think of it? And I found one of the guys that went to the show who's actually like a pretty prolific photographer for like the indie stuff. And I even remember in his write up, he's like, this is within the wheelhouse of what Yano's been doing in Taiheiyo, but this is also by far the most violent he's ever been, to the point that I actually was upset seeing some of the punt kicks because they scared me. Like, I thought he was trying to paralyze Mitsuru with how hard he was kicking him. Um, and he said something about like how like the video that Yana uploaded after the sound the pancakes make, it does not come across in video how it came across being in the room. It was significantly worse in the room.
Well, they're loud on tape, so that's
Yeah.
double scary.
Yeah. Um Tobita also, there's this funny moment where Tobita like literally climbs on top of Mitsuru so Yano like can't punt kick him again. Like the fucking the Kobashi
Yeah.
climb on top to protect. Yano gets around this by doing like a swinging, like falling punch to the face.
That was absolutely it's like a wild haymaker, and then around Tobita.
Yeah.
Oh, you're talking about when they're on the ground. I got that
Yes.
confused when they're up because he works around Tobita like more than once.
He does because
Tobita's having to be like the second ref,
this is when
basically.
Tobita's like really running in a lot because he's like he knows that Mitsuru is like in such deep waters that someone has to get in there. But yeah, the one I was talking about was the down one, which is the
Yeah.
where that leads to Mitsu coming up and he's bleeding, and I'm like 100% certain that was Hardaway.
Yeah, he punches him on the ground and he comes up and it looks like where you would blade, but you can see like the depth and width of the gash is a
Yeah.
gash from, yeah,
It's like a it's like
not
a
from
it's
a
like a
blade.
mark from a knuckle. Like
Yeah.
it is awful. And that does lead into Mitsuru. Finally, like there's this like little moment where Yano like goes to lunge in for another punch and Mitsuru kind of trips him and he hits this head kick and Yano just shoots straight up, no sell, walking over like Michael Myers again. And that's when Mitsuru hits a wheel kick and that's when Yano goes down. And that, I mean, and it feels like the right move because when he connects with the wheel kick, it sounds like death, like heel to the jaw of Keita Yano.
That's the point where I was like, okay, he really did. He's trying to actually knock him out so he doesn't get back up. Like he's just thrown his
Yes.
his nuke. This is like his the worst thing he can do in this situation. And it's also when I remembered that, oh yes, I'm watching a wrestling match because they start counting. I had
Yeah,
forgotten.
yeah. And I at this point too, you can kind of see some of the people like the wrestlers around the ring. They all look so uncomfortable.
They
They're
have
all
no idea what to do.
no, they're all like clueless as to what's going on. I mean, like they know the angle of what's going on. These are all like the regulars in the Fed, but this match especially is just throwing them for a fucking loop. And Yano gets up, and I put in my notes that he looks so sweaty and smelly and gross right here. He is like bleeding, and his hair's all on his face. He genuinely looks like a serial killer, like
He,
fucking
it's
out of his mind.
actually really scary.
Yeah,
He feels very dangerous in a way that like you don't get often when you're watching wrestling. And when he
yeah.
gets up, it's like, oh shit.
Yeah, gets up.
Oh
They
no.
like they like grapple for like a second, and that leads into Yano hitting a shoot backdrop, just like deadlifting him and dropping him on his head.
That
Getting
killed me because
yeah,
he he rolls through it and like karate flatbacks
yeah,
after he's already eaten it fully on his head. And
yeah,
before when he was up, he's breathing super heavy. He's like he doesn't look like he's all there. I think that was pure instinct. Like
yeah.
he was transported back to the dojo.
He's- and he's getting transported back to primordial times after because Yano gets into mount. It starts running like it's not even like calling it mounted punches doesn't even feel right because that makes it feel like Mitsuru could defend himself. He is like putting up no defense. Yano is raining down punches full force. You can see Mitsuru's head like bouncing against the ground and Pink
And the ref,
Tiger Pink
the ref
Tiger's standing there not doing anything.
he's going, he's doing the thing that you see like happen in a classroom sometimes when the teacher has waited too long to like intervene and it's already out of control. He's going, okay, okay, no, 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 okay, no,
Yeah,
no, 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 no.
yeah. And
Like it's already gone, man. It's past that point.
he does that, and then he starts going like 1, 2. It's like, no, you need to get in now. You can't wait 5 seconds. You got to get in now.
And he has to be pulled off
Yeah, and when he's pulled off, Mitsuru does get one back. He throws a big like head kick from the
from his
ground that
back. Yeah.
actually catches Yano, and Yano like stumbles, and he comes running over, and he starts throwing like some nasty fucking headbutts at Yano, like full force, like Yano's head like cracking at
Yeah,
these
and see,
headbutts.
they don't look big and spectacular because they're not. He's not doing it for like a worked thing.
No.
They look, but I mean, it busts him open,
Yes.
and he is nailing him. But it doesn't on first glance look like like a giant. Their coconuts are cracking. He's just like literally shoot headbutting him
Just
and
straight up.
rabbit punching the cut.
Dude, actually like targeting the blood, like the punching him in the forehead. And Yano just just grips him up by the collar like he's a toddler, like he's a little shitty little kid. Just picks him, it just throws him. And then goes over, and somehow this is the second match where this happens that we're talking about. Grabs a chair, walks over, and just starts wailing on him with the chair, like as hard as possible.
And trying to hit him in the head with like the hard edge of the chair.
Yes, yes, it is. He's
Like there's chair shots to the back, but he's trying to concuss him with the chair
yes,
shots to the back.
yeah. And Pink Tiger does try to stop him, and Yano like stops the chair attack to grip up Pink Tiger, walk him across the gym, and throw him on the floor. And
Chuck the traffic cone at him too.
he,
For
he
good
just,
measure.
just for fun, just goes back over, starts beating up fucking Mitsuru, and that is where Pink Tiger calls it. And that is when the match should end. But Yano is not done. He's just beating on him, and all the wrestlers are now trying to get in and like stop him. And by trying to, I mean they're just standing there saying, "Yano, don't do it."
I wouldn't step in there either, man.
No.
And Mitsuru is making this is kind of ghoulish, but if you've ever been like in the ER and there's been someone next to you who's just had some sort of trauma and they're just like screaming like
Yeah. Yeah.
unhinged, like I don't know what he's saying, but it's scary.
He is like screaming bloody murder. He's got like his like head covered up. He's just screaming at the sky. He gets up and he is yelling at Yano, and he yells at Yano about standing rule, which I think is him saying like, Yano, I want you to like fight me, like karate standing rules right now. And Yano, this is not official. They don't like ring the bell or anything. The match is over, but Yano like obliges, and they walk over, and they both start throwing some open palm strikes to the face that are like crazy. Like it's slaps, but they are like definitely hitting with like the fucking bottom of the hand. Like they are hitting. Um, and Mitsuru starts to unload some leg kicks. Or no, first, oh, I almost forgot. First, they like back up for a second, and then Yano walks up and leans down a little bit, and he does the fucking upwards headbutt that he tried to knock out Hirashima
The
with.
cheap shot headbutt, dude. Like what you would do, like if you thought you were about to get your ass beat at the bar.
Straight up. It is such a shitty fucking headbutt. And he just like nails him uppercut style. And this is when it really feels like there's something weird going on and that this has gone beyond a match because Mitsuru does not sell it. He doesn't even pretend that it like hurt him.
He gives one back.
He does. And he starts throwing the leg kicks. And Yano just looks at him and pulls his knee pad down and says, "Okay, kick me right here. Kick me as hard as you can, right here where I have no protection." And Mitsuru actually kicks him in the arm for that, which I thought that was fucking nice little shitty thing. And Yano like trips him
Oh my god.
and just stands over him for a second. It looks like he's trying to stop him on the balls, but he like keeps deciding not to. And then he just walks over and punt kicks him
Hard as fuck.
as hard as
Tabita
fuck.
has to like pick him up.
Yeah, it's like picking up a dead body, and that's when Mitsuru gives this look, like as he's getting picked up, where it's like he knows what's gonna happen, and he does not want it to happen, but he can't look like a bitch. He has to keep hitting Yano, but he is so unhappy, and he knows that nothing he's gonna do is gonna work. But he throws a couple more shots.
Hard.
Oh yeah, hard. And then Yano like says something to him about karate, walks forward, left hook, right hook as hard as fucking possible. It is just straight up punching him in the face. I the first time I ever saw that, I had to like pause it and like back up. I was like, what the fuck was that?
And that's really saying something after all that has already transpired.
Yeah.
Like, how did you up it again?
How like straight I can't say enough. I'm sure when we fucking post the pod in a few days, I will reply to the announcement tweet with a gif of those punches that I have had on my computer for years. Like it's mind blowing. Like just straight up punching him in the face. Like and fucking Mitsuru goes down. He is out. He is
It's over.
done. Like
I bet-
actually over. And Kadiano with the half removed Tonto face paint, covered in blood on his face, hollow eyes, looking at nobody in particular, just walks away. And like he like turns back around to the camera for a second, and I swear to God, I don't know if anyone could even fathom what he's thinking of, because I certainly couldn't.
the only further escalation would be if he walked over and killed him, which he probably thought about.
He was probably like, what if I just got that chair and hit him until he died? Like, what if I just
This,
did it?
this would be the funniest tape to show in court, like of all time.
This is like straight up like live leak wrestling. Like this
Yeah.
is the type of shit that you would like if you like open this link at work, you get fired. Like this is this this fucking match is like this is I have seen a lot of matches that are really like disgusting. And there are things that are worse than this. There are certainly like I think this is worse than like Kurisu Akayoshi, and I think it's worse than basically every incident that has not actually been a shoot. Um, and there are, and then even then, some of the shoot incidents I've seen are not as hard to watch as some of the stuff in this. Um, this is genuinely like this is like wrestling that shouldn't be watched, but also is like one of my favorite things I've ever seen.
And I think you mentioned it. I don't know if it was on the pod or not, but as like someone saying they just couldn't get with it because it didn't feel like wrestling, like it was
Yes,
something different from wrestling.
yes.
Yeah, I don't. I bet you won't try that shit on Akatoshi Saito, pussy. But he really is taking advantage of this old man.
Yeah, no,
Although he did come in the black gi, so
he did,
he
and
might be evil. I don't know.
I'll say this much: Mitsuru at this point, somewhat tenured indie guy. He's an Ogasawara trainee. He's been around since the mid 2000s. This isn't just some because that's the one thing that I've heard some people say is that Kadiano just got a random old man that knows karate and beat him up. Like that's not true. However, it also is kind of true because it definitely is a random old man that knows karate. He just also has done wrestling for a while.
Which makes it even more surprising that it really does take him a while to catch on.
Yeah, yeah.
he, he takes like 4 or 5 just brutal shots. I guess he's chalking up to the game. I don't know.
Yeah, and I've actually like thought about like why if this is what it kind of seems it is, why did it take that long? And maybe like they had worked together before, so maybe he was just like, oh, it's Yano, I know Yano. I've worked with him before. We've done this. It's all right.
Yeah, well, and like
And
you said, until that one kick to the back of the head, it's not like totally foreign from what you'd see like Ishikawa do or something.
yes, yeah, and again, especially for this time period and what Yano's doing, like
Yeah.
generally in Taiheiyo and also in Cerberus in general, because he's doing the same thing in Wallaby half the time. Like it's not out of the ordinary for Yano to work a match like this. This is his kind of match that he's able to do after the Hiroshima shoot. Um but when that like punt kick to the back of the head happens and he like goes straight into fetal position, that definitely feels like a turning point in like what kind of violence was going on here. Because that's also when Yano starts throwing the closed fists, is like after that happens. um yeah, I think everyone should watch this match. I think if you don't like it after that, that's fair because this match is something. This is like one of the few matches that I think is like one of my favorite matches ever, but I also totally truly understand why people would not like it because it's just something again, it's something divorced from wrestling almost.
And I do want to mention this is on YouTube and easy to find. I know sometimes we talk about stuff that's kind of harder to find, but
Yes.
you can seek this out uh, pretty easily. And it's
Yeah.
listed, I think, as Keita in the House versus 326.
Yes, it is. It is. It is. Yeah, it's on the Kadiano YouTube channel. He's pretty proud of this one. Um, he's God, going through the Kadiano YouTube channel was awesome because he has some stuff on here that like I would imagine most other wrestlers would never want that footage to be seen. Like the Hiroshima shoot, it's just on his YouTube channel. Like fucking this is a vital part of the Kadiano lore that in the
Yeah, truly.
2010s he was kind of the most he was the most dangerous wrestler in the entirety of Japan. I'll say that. I think he would probably maybe not nowadays agree with that or want to agree with that, but at the time that was definitely kind of his reputation, and this match kind of feels like the testament to who Kadiano was and what he was becoming at the time, which was a fucking lunatic.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Well, I
Ah,
loved the Jomisode. All these
thank-
matches were fucking incredible.
yes, yes,
Uh, seek out all of them. I would
yes.
maybe watch them in like reverse order,
Yeah.
so you can leave on a on a
Yeah,
fun note.
we leave on the Rikiya Fudo match. That one's just really fun. Yeah, the Kazushi Gumi match also is on YouTube. It's all in Japanese. You know, unless you're, it's all in Japanese, and the title is like MMA versus karate, so it's actually not easy to find. But it is out there for sure. Um, but yeah, no, I had a ton of fun. It's very nice that we kind of bounced off back and forth between like the two wheelhouses we got here. Yeah, we all do different stuff, but your background, of course, is coming from the WCW stuff. That's an origin point for you, and a big origin point for me is all this weird, sleazy Japanese shit. Um, so that was very, very nice. And what's also nice is some questions that have been asked by the people.
Yes.
We have
Well,
some very nice questions here. Do you have any particular question you want to start with, Aubie?
I would like to start with Connor's question,
Yes.
uh, because he sent it in, I think, a while back, and he is a loyal and good question asker in the
Yes.
Aubieverse. So he says, "What is your favorite pro wrestling move you've seen in a different style fight, and what move would surprise you the most to see in a different style fight?"
Oh, that's a good one.
Favorite? I love the Koshinaka shoot hip attacks.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
Those are pretty sick. Um, I like when Tarzan Goto does different style fights and he just does his stuff.
Yeah, just the entire Goto moveset's great.
Yeah.
I will say, in terms of the move that we see a lot, and I mean, even on like the first episode, you made note of it. I fucking love seeing a backdrop in a different style fight because that feels like such a wrestling move.
And it's always like a signifier of like action. Like
Yeah,
we're getting to it now. The
yeah. No,
backdrop has landed and we're going.
I mean, even in the Yano 326 match we just talked about, that backdrop is a major turning point in that one. Like
Yeah.
it is for me like that or like the power bomb, mostly because of Onita. But like those are the moves I think I would say are like probably my favorite wrestling moves in the DSF universe.
I got a kick out of the big splash today for sure.
Oh, oh yeah. And that actually,
Surprise.
I
Oh,
was
go
gonna say
ahead. I'm
that
sorry.
that leads into my surprise actually, because fucking any sort of like diving move always blows my mind, and it's like certainly possible. We saw Goto do it in the fucking Verichev match. We saw him do it in both of the Verichev matches. He hit a diving splash, but like every single time I did, I was like, you know what? If you set it up right, I don't fucking care. That's awesome. That's such a wrestling thing.
Yeah, and even the one today, he did it when he was being counted down. So,
Yeah,
like, within the context of the match, he's down. He's been smoked, sort of. Yeah, any kind of dive would be surprising. Um, I have seen a couple times, like, people run the ropes, and that's always shocking. Not necessarily because it's like some crazy thing. You don't expect it when you're in that zone.
yeah,
And somebody hit the ropes, and you're like, "Wait, what the fuck?
yeah,
I forgot you could do that."
yeah. if someone hit an arm drag, it'd probably blow my mind. I don't know how they could ever do like a fucking Ricky Steamboat style arm drag, but
The deep
I
arm drag.
straight up like deep where both guys are in the air for like a half second. Like if someone can pull that off and make it look good, like I'll give him like $10, dude. That'd be sick.
I bet Verichev could have done it.
Oh, dude, absolutely.
All right. Well, thank you, Connor. Send more.
Yeah, absolutely. We would love to hear from you, Connor. And I think I'm going to hop all the way down to one of the most recent ones we get, but this is from someone who has sent me a few questions, and I've just told him no because the questions were bad, out of love. Um, from my good friend and semi-frequent name on the pod somehow, Chris E. Lord. He asked two questions that kind of related to our last episode, and I just thought they were interesting. So the first one was, how would we imagine if Jimmy Graffiti was brought into the Blood Runs Cold angle? Because he made a good note that Jimmy Graffiti, I don't know if he was on the WCW roster still when that happened. I think he still was. He was there until what, like late '97? Like
Yeah, I don't know, but I mean, I don't think it would have been hard to to get a
no,
hold
and
of him.
yeah, no, and he's in WCW up to the end of '96, so he was there, and I mean, he has like different style experience, so he would have been able to work that. So what do you think if Jimmy Graffiti was brought in? How do you think he'd fit? Well,
I I think he could do it because he was a great, smart wrestler.
yeah,
Especially if they kept doing like the sort of high concept tag stuff. I
yes,
think he could do that pretty well. I don't know like what character you would give him or like what style because he's a pretty like I mean I know he's done, that kind of stuff as we've talked about, but it could you do like a well I guess you could do like Zangief style maybe,
you
but he's not
could.
huge, but there was a wrestler in Street Fighter, I guess, so
Yeah, I the first thought I had was of Stryker from Mortal Kombat, the police guy that wears like the SWAT
yes.
team
Forgot
uniform.
about
Like
him.
stick Jimmy Del Rey in a SWAT team uniform and put him out there as like a weird cop trying to enforce the fucking Glacier Mortis stuff. So that was the first question from Chris. The second one, which I actually independently had already been thinking about, was, would you ever consider an episode on what he says the WWF equivalent of Blood Runs Cold, which is everything that was going on with Blackman, Shamrock, Severn, and Owen?
I mean, I would. If
Yeah,
could we talk about the dungeon match? I would love to do that. That's a very different style fight and
I
a
was gonna
fiver for
say
me.
like that, and what was the other one? The one that was like the lion pit or
Yeah,
something?
the lion's den
Yeah,
in
Lion's
the
Den.
cage in
Yeah,
the
like
octagonal cage.
yeah, no, absolutely. There's like, I had already written in the notes that eventually it might be worth doing a Dan Severn episode just because the idea of fresh out of UFC, like super fight champion Dan Severn going in and doing squash matches with like headbanger Mosh is really funny to me.
Yeah, that's
Um,
awesome.
but yeah, no, like especially the Owen and Shamrock stuff, like I would say that definitely fits, and that's definitely something we're going to do eventually.
Awesome.
Yes,
Let's do one
sir.
more related since we're on it
Yeah.
from Ben. Bollywood Benjamin. He says, "Hello, friends. Question: which fighters from the Mortal Kombat fighting games would you love to see in a different style fight?"
Oh, shit.
I would say Goro because of the forearms.
Yeah, that'd be incredible.
Get you down on the mat and just twist you up.
Yeah, no, Goro would be so sick. I mean, I'd love to see Johnny Cage, like, just because he's cool. He's got swag, and anytime a different style guy has like visible charisma, it adds like times 10 to the match, and he'd be like,
He'd be like Don Nakai in Nielsen mode.
yeah, straight up. He'd be like Don Nakagawa and Nielsen with more nut shots. Like that's like a great proposition to me.
I've got one that's cheating,
Oh,
but you could do Shang Tsung and he could like switch to different styles. So it would be like you could do like wrestler versus boxer and wrestler versus karate because he could just change into somebody who knew like a different style.
Oh, dude.
Run
Okay.
him against Onita, and Onita has to solve all the styles.
Yeah. That's pretty much perfect. Last one I'll say, uh give like give Baraka to like 92 Onita and let him figure out how to deal with the arm blades.
Oh my god, it wouldn't be that different from Mr. Pogo.
No, it really, really wouldn't. Like
Digging him in his back.
oh my god. If fucking Onita eventually counter headbutt, elbow, pick him up, DDO, Fire Thunder, Onita win.
Book it.
Book it. Make it explode. I don't know.
Well, hell yeah, we've done it again, John.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We have.
Do
And
we have any ideas for next week, or are we gonna
I
let it ride?
I think we actually I think we do. I think I said last time that I was thinking that maybe we would do another double episode special soon, and I think that might actually be the move. Um, so let's we were talking about the 2010s now, but I think it's time to go back to kind of our wheelhouse, which is the 90s. Specifically, we're going to the late 90s, at least for now. Next episode it might go a little bit beyond there, but for now, we're looking at the late 90s and we're looking at some events that were going on in this little company called New Japan Pro Wrestling, where a certain
Our
Olympic
homeland.
level judoka has been groomed by Antonio Inoki,
Oh,
and he is ready to make his debut in the company. And there is a certain very large and very angry man waiting for him.
perfect.
Yes,
Oh my!
sir.
I just realized one of the matches we'll get to talk about. Oh
Oh
my!
yeah. Oh yeah.
Well, I truly cannot wait. Uh, if you've got questions or comments or whatever, you can reply on YouTube, send them on Twitter, send them in Discord, ever how you want to do that. And we will see you next time back in Anoki land.
Yes,
Truly
sir.
Anoki land.
Dude, it's an Inoki world. We're just living in it.
Bye.
Bye.